But our position is that aside the free SHS policy, we think that governments, successive governments, have neglected public school or Saito education. Now, we all know that you don't even have to be an expert to know that those who access education through the Saito system are coming from deprived and poor backgrounds. Now, if we ignore such people, it creates a national security threat because those children are left behind. Education is the best ladder for social mobility. Most people, first generation professionals, will tell you that, but for a very good public school system, they will not be where we are now. So, what we're saying is that yes, the free HS policy, it's a policy that is going to give opportunity for people to access secondary education, but that should not be to the detriment of basic education. I may be wrong, but I don't think that we have a secondary school that meets under tree, or a secondary school that whose attendance are classed at the vagaries at the mercies of the weather. But there are too many schools under trees. There are too many children sitting on stones. There are too many Saito kids that depend on the weather. That means that they're going to attend school, and that is unfair. And the chasm between the urban elite and the rural poor, and even in the urban areas, those assessments just not right. Now, I always use this personal experience. My hometown is a small village in the Joseph Japin district called Achileku. Now, there is a public school system that the legendary economist Kwame Pianim was able to go to Achimota and from there to Yale. Um, and so many people, Yao Pianim, all those went to Achimota. My mother went to Ebri Girls from that school and ended up as a nursing officer. When I go to my hometown, just by that school is a public secondary school called Achinamai SHS. I don't think kids from those who can even pass the exam to go. Why is that so? And there are studies that shows that capex in capex for public basic school system was dropped whilst there was an increment in free SHS. I don't have the figures, but I think that it would not be surprising that if we were to make an ITI request from the Ministry of Education on how much of its budget was spent on the various levels, clearly the free SHS would have more information and investment than the Saito system. But the thing is that how do we start? We all start, and nobody started school at the secondary school level. We started school at the basic level. What is scary and what hurts and what is unjust about this is that we have this lopsided educational system in this country where the private sector has the best basic school. When it comes to secondary school, the state has the best. And even the private secondary schools that are rising to that so prohibitive that even the average middle class cannot access that. And the state has the best universities. That's how our structure is. So all of a sudden, all of us as the elite who can speak, I will not take my child to a public school as a lawyer. But that doesn't mean that as somebody standing in society, I should keep my mouth shut. Those things mean much more to me than the things that people are asking the GBA to do. Because if my son, because of the comfortable background, get access to quality education and becomes a lawyer, there will be that Saito kid who, because of no hope, is an armed robber who is holding a gun by the roadside. So what we are saying is, listen, let us invest in that. Why have we kept quiet? I always say that the elites in this country are like Judas in the Bible. So Judas in the Bible, we all know the story when Mary Magdalene anointed the feet of our Lord Jesus Christ with perfume. He scolded and rebuked Jesus that, oh, if we had sold this perfume, we could have helped the poor, when indeed he actually wanted control of it. So what you see is that immediately you have these policies. What happens? The elites come up. Oh, the best policy to ostensibly speaking for the poor when they are primary beneficiaries. Because if the government had implemented this policy not in our elite secondary schools, would that be popular? President Kufuor's government introduced school feeding program directly targeted at Saito. Trust me, nobody made noise about it. But the free SHS will make noise because we know that there's more opportunity at Infant Spain, more opportunity at Achimota, at Wesley Girls, and at Pemper College. Recently, our female lawyers had to make a donation that touched my heart when it came to my notice and the notice of the bar that in rural areas, young ladies who are menstruating don't go to school during their time of the month because they can't even afford sanitary pads. You see, we cannot go on like this and create a huge chasm between the urban dwelling elite and the rural poor, and those of us who have the voice, because I don't think that those people would have a voice. So those of us that God has blessed for us to have a certain standing in society, we must speak on their behalf, and that's sometimes gets the GBA thing, and we will start the advocacy and make sure that that chasm is closed and that children born in deprived communities have access to good quality basic education at the primary and so because for me, when we've all been secondary school before, basics like literacy, reading, comprehension, we don't learn them at the secondary school. You wouldn't even pass your BEC to get into the secondary school. So at the second stage in life, it's more of polishing what the child's fundamentals. So we all know that kids who have a basic, a very good start do well, and we cannot have this demon as enclosed as because our children will not have to face that because the time is going to come if we don't take care. There's going to be a huge gulf between the urban dwelling elite comfortable and the rural poor.